Hello, how's everybody doing? My name is Patrick, and welcome to Palm FCC. Um, my goal for this channel is to document and have a sort of accountability for doing free code camp. Now, I'm going to attempt to do 25 minutes of free code camp every day and upload the video to YouTube. So that is the purpose of Palm FCC. If you're wondering where the name of the channel comes from, the idea comes from a Pomodoro timer where you do 25 minutes and then you have 5 minutes off, then you do another 25 minutes. So my goal is, of course, to do 25 minutes of free code camp every day and upload it to YouTube. So I'm getting my timer set up right now to do 25 minutes. And like I said, this is an accountability thing. I don't want to ramble too much at the beginning of this video because it's my first one. But yeah, so I do have some experience in HTML, JavaScript, CSS. I've dabbled in Python before, so I'm not coming at this as a total beginner. Uh, but at the same time, I'm not in the web development industry. I'm not in the software programming industry. Currently, I just pretty much side hustle for income. Um, I do all sorts of things for income on the side. Anything I can to make money. I believe this will help me grow more, give me more skills, where I can actually put it to practical use. Now, I'm not saying I'm using this to get a job in software development or web development or data science or anything like that. That is really not the goal of my channel. But if that turns out to be the outcome of doing these videos every day, if I can, um, I'm open to that as well. So once again, my main goal with this channel is just for an accountability thing to say that I've done 25 minutes of free code camp every day that I possibly can. So look for daily uploads on this channel. It's always tough, especially when your schedule's it's kind of open, but at the same time still got to make money, still got to pay the bills. Um, but yeah, let me quit rambling. I'm already 2 minutes into this. Let's go ahead and get started with 25 minutes. So I'm going to start my timer. And like I said, we're going to go get into this. I'm not a total newbie when it comes to HTML, JavaScript, but I am going to go through every challenge on Free Code Camp, hopefully from top to bottom. And we'll see how this turns out. Welcome to the beginning of a daily journey, 25 minutes at a time. Let's get started. Okay, basic HTML, HTML5. Say hello to HTML elements. Welcome to Free Code Camp's HTML coding challenges. These will walk you through web development step by step. First, you'll start by building a simple web page using HTML. You can edit code in your code editor, which is embedded into this page. Do you see the code in your code editor? It says h1 hello. That's an HTML element, so here it is up here. Most HTML elements have an opening tag and a closing tag. Opening tags look like this. Closing tags look like this with the slash, forward slash. The only difference between opening and closing tags is a forward slash after the opening bracket. Each challenge has tests that you can run at any time by clicking the Run Test button here. When you pass all tests, you'll be prompted to submit your solution and go to the next coding challenge. Pass the test on this challenge, change your H1 elements to say hello world. So this is a pretty easy one. We're going to type in world here. As you can see, it updates here. Let's take this out. There we go. And run test. There we go. Let's go to the next challenge. I wonder to download my solution. I guess for more complex stuff you could. But I don't think I need to download a H1. Just says hello world. Alright. Over the next few lessons, we will build HTML5 cat photo web app piece by piece. The H2 element allows you, you will be adding in this step, will add a level 2 heading to the web page. The element tells the browser the structure of your website. H1 elements are often used for main headings. H2 elements are generally used for subheadings. There's H3, H4, H5, H6 to indicate different levels of subheadings. Add an H2 tag that says cat photo app to create a second HTML element below the H1 element. So H2, and it's going to say cat photo app. Close it. There we go. We got our H2 here. We're going to run the test. And there we go. We passed. Let's go to the next challenge. P elements are the preferred element for paragraph text on websites. P is short for paragraph. Create a paragraph element like this, P, and then your text, and then a closing P. Create a P element below your H2 element. Give the text hello paragraph. As convention, all HTML tags are written in lowercase, so lowercase p. All right, here's our opening tag. I say hello paragraph, and then closing tag. There we go. There's our paragraph text. We'll run the test here, and there we go. Let's go to the next challenge. Now, it may seem like I'm moving faster through these, but like I said, I do have some experience in HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. So this isn't all brand new information to me. Fill in the blank with placeholder text. Web developers traditionally use lorem ipsum text as a placeholder text. The lorem ipsum text is randomly scraped from a famous passage by Cicero of ancient Rome. Lorem ipsum text has been used as placeholder text by typesetters since the 16th century, and the tradition continues on the web. 5 centuries is long enough since we're building a cat photo app. Let's use something called Kitty Epsum. Place the text in your P element with the first few words of this Kitty Epsum text. So let's just copy those. And then replace this. There we go. Then we have our Kitty Epsum text over here. It says the first few words, so I wonder if copying the whole thing over matters. There it goes. It passed. Let's go to the next challenge. Uncommon HTML. Commenting is a way that you can leave comments for other developers within your code without affecting the resulting output that is displayed by the end user. Commenting is also a convenient way to make code inactive without having to delete it entirely. Comments in HTML start with this, which is a exclamation point, 2 dashes, and end 2 dashes. Uncomment. So we're going to take off the end tag, comments, and the opening comments, and there we go. Our code is back. All right. So commenting is very important in code from what I've read before. The more comments, the better, to explain code, especially when you're into JavaScript and stuff like that, and you have a JavaScript function of some sort. And if somebody new is reading your code, they don't fully understand what that piece of code is doing, a comment is there to help you out. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's keep going on. Remember that in order to start a comment, you need to use this tag, and in the comment, you need to use this tag. Here you'll need to comment before your H2 element begins. So comment out your H1 element and your P element, but not your H2 element. What we're going to do is we're going to come in here, and we're going to put a dash dash. Then we're going to comment out the paragraph. There we go. So now just the H2 is visible. And I believe that is what we need to do. The H1 element should be commented out. The H2 element should not be commented out. The paragraph element should be commented out. Okay. There we go. Passed it. Alright, delete HTML elements. Phone doesn't have much vertical space. Let's remove unnecessary elements so we can start building our cat photo app. Delete H1 element so we can simplify our view. That's easy. You can just take this whole line and delete. Alright, let's go to the next challenge. HTML5 introduces more descriptive HTML tags. These include main, header, footer, nav, video, article, section, and others. These tags give a descriptive structure to your HTML, make your HTML easier to read, and help with search engine optimization, SEO, and accessibility. The main HTML5 tag helps search engines and other developers find the main content of your page. For example, a main element with 2 child elements nested inside of it, main, and then you have your each one in your paragraph, and then main closed. Many of the new HTML5 tags and their benefits are covered in applied accessibility section. Create a second P element after the existing P element with the following text. Then there's the text, then create a main element and nest two P elements inside the main element. Okay, so we're going to add another P. We're going to copy this, paste, and then we're going to close it. And then we need to put a main element and nest the two P elements inside the main element. Okay, so we're going to do main here, and then afterwards we're going to do a closing main. There we go. Now nothing changes over here, but for the browser's sake and the internet's sake, it knows that this is the main content of the web page. So run the test. All right. Now I know that these should be indented over like this when they're nested, but I just didn't do it. You can add images to your website using the IMG element and point to a specific image URL using the src attribute. I'm pretty sure src means source. An example of this would be image, and then the source equals the address of the image. Note that image elements are self-closing. All image elements must have an alt attribute. The text inside the alt attribute is used for screen readers to approve accessibility and is displayed if the image fails to load. If an image is purely decorative, using an empty alt attribute is best practice. Ideally, the alt attribute should not contain special characters unless needed. Let's add an alt attribute to our image above. So here's the alt, a business cat wearing a necktie. Alright, let's try to add an image to our website. Within the existing main element, so we'll start here. Insert an image element before the existing P elements. Now set the src so that it points to this URL. Okay. So we're going to indent over and add the image. We're going to put the source attributes, and we're going to put quotes. Close it. Then we're going to copy this URL and paste it in here. Oops. There we go. Didn't see anything pop up. There it is. So we're going to add a alt attribute, and we're going to say what this cat is. Say small orange kitten lays on back, looks at camera while second kitten looks on. Alright, so we have an alt attribute, we have our src, we have our picture showing up on the page, so we are done with this one. Let's run. Here we go, we passed. We're now 30% complete with basic HTML and HTML5. So we got 15 minutes to go on our POM, actually 14 minutes, so chance we might make it through this HTML section before the end of the first POM. You can use an A, which is an anchor element, to link content outside your web page. Whenever you click on a link, it's an anchor. A elements need a destination web address called an href attribute. They also need anchor text. Here's an example. Href free code camp. This links to freecodecamp.org, and then closing out the anchor. Then your browser will display this links to freecodecamp.org as a link, and you can click. That link will always take you to the web address, freecodecamp.org. Create a anchor element that links to free cat photo app and has cat photos as its anchor text. Okay. It doesn't say where to put it, so we'll just put it right here. I'm going to start at A. You have an href attribute. Of course, it's going to be in quotes. We're going to copy this and paste that in there. Right. Close it, and then we're going to put our text, which is cat photos. And we're going to close out the anchor. There we go. We now have a link for cat photos here. We're going to run the test. There we go. Complete. Go to the next challenge. Ask me later for donations. Okay, link into internal sections of a page with anchor elements. Anchor elements can also be used to create internal links that jump to different sections of a web page. Create an internal link. Assign a link's href attribute to a hash symbol plus the value of an ID attribute for the element you want to internally link to, usually further down the page. You need to add the same ID attribute to the element you're linking to. An ID is an attribute that uniquely describes an element. Below is an example of an internal anchor link and its target element. So here's the anchor link, which goes to context header. And then you have an H2 later on the page whose ID is context header. So when you click on that link, it'll take you down to that element. When users click the context link, they'll be taken to the section of the web page with context header element. Change your external link to an internal link, changing the href attribute to footer and the text from cat photos to jump to bottom. Remove the target equals blank attribute from the anchor tag, since this causes the link document to open a new window tab. Then add an ID attribute with the value footer to the footer element at the bottom of the page. Okay, so here's our href. What we're going to do is we're going to take this URL out, and then we're going to add a footer here, which will be the ID tag. I'm going to take out the target equals blank. Then this is going to say jump to bottom. So we're going to change this, jump to bottom. And then down here at our footer, we're going to add an ID. It's going to equal footer. Right? Okay. So when we click on jump to bottom, I guess it won't do it here. You can already see the bottom here. But I'm pretty sure when you jump to bottom, that this was taking up a whole another page, it would jump all the way down to where it says cat photo app down here. Let's run the test. This should be right. We got the footer ID as footer. We got the anchor tag pointing to the footer ID, and then text saying jump to bottom and closing the anchor out. There we go. Passed it. Alright, nest an anchor element within a paragraph. You can nest links within other text elements, such as here's a paragraph, here's a anchor link to free code camp for you to follow. Okay. Let's break down the example. Normal text is wrapped in the P element. Next is an anchor element, which requires a closing tag. So A to A. Target is an anchor tag attribute that specifies where to open the link, and the value blank specifies to open the link in a new tab. href is an anchor tag attribute that contains the URL of the link. So your href is your URL. The text link to free code camp within the A element is called the anchor text. We'll display a link to click. So it'll look like this right here, where it says here's A, and then only this is linked, and then for you to follow. So you can only click on this little bit of the paragraph. Nest the existing A element within a new P element. The new paragraph should have text that says view more cat photos, where cat photos is a link, and the rest is plain text. So a new P element. Doesn't matter where it's at. It says it should be a total of 3P. So let's try putting it here in the middle, because I don't know if it'll matter. Let's go ahead and put the closing P tag. All right. And then but you should check out all the amazing cat photos That's where we'll put our link. So we'll just copy this over. We'll cut it. And we'll paste it in here. So you should check out All the Amazing and then cat photos. Just put a space here. And there's the end of the paragraph. On the app. So there you go. As you can see, here's our paragraph text right here. And then cat photos is linked. And then the rest of the text. So let's run the test here. Seems like we're failing one. Should have text view more. Okay, so. Okay. So maybe I could just change this to view more and it'll pass. Here we go. Now let's try it. There we go. We passed it. So I had to add those exact words right there. It's good to look at the tasks that you need to complete sometimes. Alright, let's go to the next challenge. Alright. Make dead links using the hash symbol. Sometimes you want to add anchor elements to your website before you know where they'll link. This is also handy when you're changing the behavior of a link using JavaScript, which we'll learn about later. The current value of a href attribute is a link that points to free photo app or free cat photo app. Replace the href attribute value with a hashtag or a pound symbol or a number symbol, whatever you call this symbol, also known as a hash symbol, to create a dead link. For example, href equals hash symbol. So your A element should be a dead link. So we're just going to take out the URL and replace it with a hash symbol and then save or run the test, and it should work. So basically what that does is it deadens the link, so when you click on this link, it won't do nothing. Alright, let's go to the next tutorial here. Turn an image into a link. You can make elements into links by nesting them within an A element. Nest your image within an A element. Here's an example. So here you have your href with the dead link here with the hash symbol. Then you have your image, your alt, and then you close it within the A link. Remember to use hash as your symbol's A reference, href property in order to turn it into a dead link. So as you can see here, clicking on this photo does nothing. So basically what you want to do is you're going to put an A for anchor. You're going to put your href. We're going to make it a dead link hash symbol. Okay, we're going to close it out with a closing anchor. So now when you hover over this, you see the pointer change from the arrow to the clicker, like the hand, and that is now a link. So we're going to run the test. There we go. Get a sip of coffee real quick. Alright, let's go to the next challenge. Alright, create a bulleted unordered list. HTML has a special element for creating unordered list or bullet point style list. Unordered list with an opening UL for unordered list, followed by any number of LI, which are list elements. Finally, an unordered list closes with a UL. So for example, here's an unordered list of milk and cheese. Close the list, recreate a bullet point style of list of milk and cheese. Remove the last two key elements and create an unordered list of things cats love. Bottom of the page. Alright, so what we're going to do is create, let's see, it says remove the last two key elements. We're going to do a UL. Closing UL. LI. Milk. LI. Scratching furniture. slash li. Calls blue yarn slash li. We're gonna run the tests. Okay, we're gonna submit and go to the next challenge. Is another special creating ordered list. Ordered list start with the OL followed by a number of li elements. On the order list close with the OL tag, for example. Create a numbered list of Garfield and create an ordered list top 10 things cats hate the most. Okay. OL slash OL. I dogs. I vacuum cleaners. I water. Okay, so top 10 things cat hate here. And then, yeah, we are done. Okay, so we finished this 57% complete. We're going to submit and go to the next challenge. But our timer is up. So, I really appreciate it, y'all, for watching. 25 more minutes coming up tomorrow. I'll see you then. Peace.